Hey everybody, and welcome to the United Spot YouTube Live. Horrible last couple of days, and as a content creator for comedy, it's extremely difficult to even attempt to try and make people laugh at a time like this. Anybody that's unfortunately seen the footage, it's heart wrenching to know something like that happen. And I had explained it in a post. Obviously, the people that have listened to the United Spot Lives know that I lost a really close family member at the Route 91 concert in Vegas, and it just never goes away. And there's a lot of people out there that didn't necessarily know Charlie, but he was a part of their life on a daily basis. And because of that, they built a relationship with him, and it's extremely sad. What makes it worse, I believe, is the fact that the comments from the people um, that didn't like him, horrible. I've honestly have never seen anything like it, and well, I can't say I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen similar things. Um, uh, and then to see his wife tonight, it was just heartbreaking. I, I I don't know how to put into words. I know a lot of you are feeling the same thing, and I'm sure that many of you out there have possibly um, had to go through similar situations. And obviously, with her having two small children now to raise that will never see their father again. Um, really sad, really sad. Um, and just the remarks that were said. Um, I can't even go into words. I did do a video yesterday. For a lot of people that I did happen to meet Charlie several times, and he's an outstanding man. Um, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but I can tell you, anybody that's ever seen him talk, anybody that's ever witnessed him, um, I don't know why they did that. Apparently, if you click a button, I guess. But if anybody has ever seen Charlie discuss or take questions, prove me wrong. Um, People come up there and just literally talk the worst trash to him. I mean, they make fun of him, they call him names, and he laughs because that's the whole point is to communicate. And sometimes in communicating, you have to break through all the immaturities and the horrible, hateful feelings to get to the actual conversation. And you know, I made a video yesterday, and maybe it was a little too soon, but it was about the reactions of the Democrats, and these are the people that have been pushing and pushing. People like Maxine Waters and Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Chuck Schumer. Um, they have all pushed. Joe Biden is another one as well. Um, they had pushed for violence, and this is not something that I'm just making up. They've been doing it for years. Um, and then to read their posts the day that it happened, to save face and to look good. Um, and they all had the same paragraph: political violence does not belong in America. The same thing over and over and over and over again. Um, it's extremely, extremely sad. Extremely, extremely sad. I've made 2 tribute videos for Charlie. Um, and I got to be honest with you. Like I said, I've met him several times. I didn't necessarily know him as an actual person. It's not like we spent Thanksgiving together or anything like that. But I cried. I did. I really did. It's just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. Um, and I don't want to get too much into the who did it. They have somebody in custody because as well as I do, that could change instantly. I'm hoping that the FBI. I'm hoping that they are covering all bases so that the party that is definitely to blame for this is held accountable. I unfortunately never got to you know they apparently they said that he unalived himself in the Las Vegas hotel room. So I never got to experience seeing him go to prison, or if it even was him. There's so many different stories of actually what took place. Who's to know? And that's the sad part about what they do in the media and the government is they keep us guessing. They keep us occupied with so many different distractions that we can't concentrate on just one thing. So, um, but as you all know, anybody that's ever gone through anything such as this, or even somewhat close of losing somebody, it just never goes away. And Charlie had a huge impact on a lot of people. He was a God loving man. He loved his family. He loved his children and his wife. And maybe his platform and his influence wasn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but when you really dove into it, you really saw what he was doing. It was quite genius. He was inadvertently speaking and having conversations with. He was an innovator. He created something that has never necessarily been done on that particular level. And to have that many people go to watch prove me wrong. It was an incredible thing, and they took that from America. They took that from his family. They took that from his children, his wife, his friends. They took his voice. Um, and I'm a firm believer. When you get young kids, teenagers, doesn't matter, and you influence them in such a way with hate and propaganda and just lies, especially when they're very impressionable. You have yourself a ball of clay that you could literally form into anything that you want, and that's exactly what's been happening. Um, and it's just tragic. I mean, just it's just absolutely tragic to know that things like this are going on. Um, my dogs just scared the microphone away from me. So um, I do want to say hello to Skippy, Brian, Arugula, Chad, Sheila, Captain Spaulding, LR, D. Bonaventura, Annette Poison. Thank you for being here. Jeffro Bodine, Jeffrey Smith, and it's Annette Poison, Marilyn Wilson, Yukon Man, great to see you here. Dave M, Perry J. Let's see who else do we have here tonight. We have John Castaneda, great to see you here too, by the way. Pierce X Angel, great to see you here. Long time supporter. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Relentless, great to see you here as well. Um, Caucasian, how are you? Kevin Ford. Janie, baby, great to see you here. Sick, how are you? Um, Daniel, great to see you. Daniel C, great to see you here. Ford for life, great to see you here. Daniel C, great to see you here. Mr. Beautiful, great to see you here. Um, Yukon Man. Oh, thank you very much for that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yukon Man. That's truly appreciated. Thank you. Sorry about that. I've been having some dog issues. My dog is dogs are very big barkers when anything moves. So we're having some guests come over tonight, and actually, my mother-in-law is here tonight. So I picked the greatest time to do a live. So, um, but I did want to play a video here, and I do want to thank you all so much for being here. And you know, I know it's okay to be sad. I know it's okay to be upset, and I know it's okay to be caught up in the moment. But if you knew Charlie, if you listened to Charlie, if you ever experienced anything with Charlie, you would know that he would want you to carry on. And it's okay to be sad, um, but it's okay to laugh again. Um, so let's hope we can and try to keep going. I guess it would help if I had some actual volume on that. So, but I guess we could play it again. But I had to thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. I was wondering why I couldn't hear anything. Jeffrey Smith, LR, Annette Poise, Allison Burgers, great to see you here. P.S. Yukon Man, Ona Hamlet. You guys are great. And Sheila Bungus, thank you for being here. Monkey Grab Orange, great to see you here too, by the way. And for anybody that I did not mention, please understand that I am thankful you are here. So I did this video yesterday, and Skippy, great to see you here. Jeffrey, I have Nancy left in her. Oh goodness gracious. Um, I did want to say real quick though. I got a comment today that kind of caught my eye because um, this is a comedy account, and I want people to understand that that don't necessarily have the best common sense in the world. I'm not making fun of what happened to Charlie. I never would do anything like that. I'm not. I never made fun of President Trump with the videos that I did about that. I my creativity stems from taking real time events and exposing the corruption through humor. That's what I do. So every once in a while, I'll do a serious thing, but and it's not that I can't do serious things. It's not that I have to do everything through comedy, but it's an easier way for people to accept the truth. And it's something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I take it very seriously. Um, so when I create these videos, I'm not doing it to irritate people or make people upset or uncomfortable. I'm doing it to expose the truth. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. So I got a comment today that said that I'm going to lose a bunch of followers over this particular video right here. And you know what? If I'm going to lose followers that have zero common sense of what I do here at the United Spot, then Godspeed. Have a great day. It was nice knowing you. Please, please, please get some help and understand the basics of just normal things. Yukon man, I miss the Joker too as well. I would love to be doing some more Joker, and because um, of that comment, I think I will. I think I will. I think I will make a Joker video here very soon. Night King, great to see you here. So here's the video that I did yesterday, and in this particular group, I think you guys get the point. But I said it earlier. It's very hard to read all these comments from these lefts, these Democrats. It's just it's ridiculous how they've flip flopped on everything. So it's just extremely even the right, the grifters on the right are at their computers just deleting old things that they said about Charlie Kirk, and now they're grifting, trying to say, "Oh, he was the greatest guy in the world." It's horrible. It's horrible. Um, anyways, so this is my creation of exposing what the left has been doing now for many many years, and how they try to cover it up with just one simple post after a horrible tragedy.
Thank you for joining us just a day after the horrific assassination of conservative activist and my friend, Charlie Kirk. A targeted political attack that has shocked the nation. As leaders, what's your reaction to this and how do we heal? Well, first and foremost, there's no place for political violence in our nation. Charlie's death was, it's a tragedy. It reminds us that we must rise above hatred and division. And our thoughts, with his family, and yes, we need common sense gun reforms too. And just so I can sleep tonight, is the shooter okay? What? Violence solves nothing. I mean, we condemn this act in the strongest terms. Let's commit to peaceful discourse and ban assault weapons like the one you don't use here. Does the shooter need bail money? Are you serious? This is heartbreaking. That poor shooter. I mean, my prayers go out to him and his family. I mean, political violence has no home here. We must unite for the victims like the shooter and for stricter gun laws. Peach 47. You people are insane.
It was like a devastating loss or like whatever. Kidnapping the shooter and putting him in a prison cell is like totally racist. There is like no room for violence in America, period. This is why we need to like totally end guns or like whatever. It's unacceptable to arrest the shooter. We reject this outright. Peace is the only path. But let's address root causes, poverty, despair, and enact red flag laws.
There was a particular video of Ilhan Omar, not just recently, just speaking horribly about Charlie Kirk, and had the audacity to write something in his honor. And it's the Democrats' playbook to side with the criminal, praise the criminal, kneel for the criminal, statues for the criminal, plaques and awards and Nobel Peace Prizes for the criminal, but the victim gets nothing. The victim gets no justice. And the sad part about it is, I mean, we are just, I, well, they finally released the woman. I mean, anybody that has a daughter. I mean, and she looked old enough to be anybody's daughter. Horrible seeing that on that. I don't even think it was a subway. It was like a train. But to see that, and then 3 weeks after it happened, the footage was released 3 weeks after it happened, and the Democrats, the media, they get on and they're paying no mind to the actual little girl that was taken away. They paid attention to the man. Oh, he's obviously got problems. He was rejected by the prison system, and it's not his fault. It's just horrible, and I don't want to be a downer, because obviously this is a comedy channel, but this is a really really sensitive and serious time right now. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably people that have gone most of their lives, and never seen anything like what we've seen in the last couple of days, starting with the Ukraine woman, and then with Charlie. I mean, it just it's so devastating. And then to watch his wife, and his children. The sad part about it is that they will never really know their father ever, because they're so young. I'm sure that they'll have a brief memory, and they'll see pictures and they'll see videos, but they'll never get to experience their father, because someone with so much hate in their heart, that was deceived by lies and propaganda, and just absolute grooming, took another person's life because he didn't like what he had to say. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You may not like it. You might get just furious over someone else's opinion, because you've been raised to think that, oh well, if you don't think this way, then you're just. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. It's okay to respectfully argue. It's okay to not agree. But to bring violence into something to this extent, it's not even just unforgivable. It just doesn't seem real. Um, and then to see, and the horrible thing about it is, that, and then you have these accounts that get on there, and they're selling merchandise of Charlie, T-shirts and dolls, and they're chanting these horrible, horrible things. Um, and then you have these other accounts that, they're saying it wasn't real, it was CGI, or it was a hologram. It's just it's just so sad, and nobody will ever really genuinely feel the way that his wife, his family, and his close friends. No one will feel that way, and I'm sure it's easy for for those people who have so much hate in their heart to dance around and celebrate that he's gone, to dance around and say the horrible things that they're saying. I'm sure it's just easy for them. But how horrible of a person are you to get to that point of hatred? It's gosh, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. I can't even put it into words. I just, and I feel like I'm a regular guy. I'm a basic guy. I'm nothing special. I haven't invented the iPhone. I don't really understand too much stuff. I'm just a basic male man. Um, I'm not a post. I'm not. I don't work for the post office. I'm just. But I've never felt those feelings before. I've never been so angry that I felt like it would have to come to violence. I mean, the only thing that would ever get me to be violent as far as protecting or physically hurting somebody, is if somebody hurt my family, my daughters, my dogs, my wife, my mother, my father, anybody. I would be. It would be in defense mode. But I mean, just because I don't agree with somebody, I've never understood that, and I don't want to understand it because I don't want those people near me. And I don't think people like that belong on the street. I think they all belong in prison. I apologize. I should have been paying attention. Should have been paying attention to the comments. I'm sorry for putting this face on here. I gotta change it out here. Let me finish the video. It's somewhat of a long video. It's about three more minutes. I'm very sorry.
It's all Trump's fault.
But folks, this is John Rich. Core Papa was a bad dude. I mean, he hung around a tough crowd. I mean, and that's just mashed potatoes and cauliflower. Squirrel.
This is truly a dark day. My prayers go out to the shooter and his family. Violence undermines us all. Let's honor him by rejecting it and finally passing sensible gun safety laws.
Pelosi, you said it's up to us to respond to their chaos. A reflection reference to Trump and his campaign. These are words critics called a call to action after the RNC. Out of context, I meant civic engagement. Not harm. I mean, guns are the real issue here. Former Vice President Harris, you praised persistent protests, saying they're not going to stop. This is a movement. After 2020 riots caused deaths and billions in damage, you supported bail funds for violent protesters. Now you push gun bans, but offer sympathy for the shooter's circumstances?
Protest our democracy. I never meant violence. Wink, wink. Gun violence is the epidemic here.
AOC, you've called Republicans enemies of the state and accused them of genocide on policy, fueling doxing and
That was
threats.
like totally out of context. We fight with words. Ban assault weapons.
Representative Omar, you've likened conservatives to oppressors, saying their policies kill and justify resistance. Your bail reform advocacy freed repeat offenders who harmed again and again and again. Now you push gun laws while citing the shooter's root
I
causes.
fight with words. Ban assault weapons.
Fake former President Biden, you called Republicans garbage, after which Trump was shot.
Oh man, I mean, the microwave doesn't even work on Thursdays. Hey, Jill, I need a diaper change.
Hillary Clinton, your basket of deplorables labeled half of Trump's voters racist, sexist, irredeemable, dehumanizing millions. Democrats push no bail policies, freeing criminals over victims' justice.
Deplorables? They earned it with bigotry. But we detest violence. We need to pass the bills.
So, no place for violence, huh? Except when your words light the fuse, or you use a shooting for gun grabs while sympathizing with shooters as victims of society. America deserves better than hypocrisy. Charlie Kirk deserved better.
So that was my United Spot video, and that was I would say my tribute to him in my own United Spot way. So, um, and if you watch, they're making this about guns again, and they're making it's just if the Democrats didn't push so hard to hate anyone who wants to do good, they hate anybody who wants to make this country better. They hate anything that has anything positive to do with America, and they will push that rhetoric to make it seem like anybody who wants to have a safe environment is a horrible person. But gosh, just a sad, sad, sad thing. And I at this point, I think that I think it's this made me cry. I I cried for this one because this one this was hard. This was very, very hard. This is a grieving woman um, who loved her husband, who loved America. She loved her kids. She loves her family. And to lose somebody, a lot of people don't necessarily, and I'm not speaking to anybody in this room directly, but I'm just saying that there is a lot of people out there that don't have true happiness, and there are some people that do. There are some husband and wives that come home to each other and look forward, not just the honeymoon phase, but actually long term. Those old people that you see that have been married 70 years and they're still holding hands, and at the end, he's holding her, she's holding him. That still exists. It's very, very, the percentages are very low, but real love like that, it really does exist. And that's what I saw with Charlie and his wife Erica. They had that love, and he was taken for having opinions that were different from somebody else's. I just, it's just so sad. And then, you know, people will move on. They will. Um, you know, the internet will move on. Social media will move on. The news is going to move on. Um, the story will change. Another tragedy will happen. And but Erica and her children and her family and close friends of Charlie, they're not going to move on. And it's just horrible, such a tragedy, and it's just yeah. Um, so I hope everybody's having the best Friday that they possibly can. I definitely did not want to be a Debbie Downer. I know that a lot of people, they come to a comedy account, they don't want to listen to a guy that's going to start crying or trying to make them sad. That's definitely not my point. But like I said, I feel almost, it was a lot easier when the attempted uh, um, the attempted to take away President Trump. Um, it was easier then because he survived. And the look on President Trump's face um, showed that he did not want the world to quit. He did not want America to quit. And that's he what he did that day um, was total dad move, a leader move. He was putting aside his own pain and terrifying feelings of almost being gone to make sure that we keep our eye on the prize and that we're okay. That's a true leader. Um, and if and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that had no idea who Charlie was until a couple days ago. They had no clue who he was, and that's just the internet. Not everybody is going to know about everything. I know that there's a lot of people that still don't know who Kash Patel is, believe it or not. But for the people that did know Charlie, and for the people that didn't know him and now are starting to watch all of his old videos, um, he was a staple. Um, and the reason being is that he brought, like I said earlier, he brought something to the table that wasn't being done. He was putting himself in the belly of the beast and asking these people, prove me wrong. And Charlie wasn't just the type of person that could sit there and take it. All the abuse, all the name calling, all the horrible things that were said and smile. But he was educated. Educated far beyond anybody that I've ever seen so far. Um, it's just extremely sad to see. So, but I do want to promise you this. I am going to continue to obviously do the United Spot. I don't think Charlie would want everybody in America to stop. I know that his family is grieving. I know his close friends are grieving. I know his children probably have no idea what's going on. They're just too young to understand. They don't know. And even if you try to explain something like that to a small child, they can't comprehend it. And that's honestly going to make me start crying. It's just horrible. But the kind of person that Charlie Kirk was would never want um, America to stop. And he loved comedy. He loved a good argument. He loved a good back and forth. He loved it all. He was a huge fan. For example, he thought that the South Park thing was hilarious. He thought it was hilarious. Um, he could have somebody screaming at him, calling him names, saying horrible things about him and his wife, and he would just laugh because that's the only way you could handle a situation like that. Because what happens if he were to get angry? Well, I do know of one occasion where, and I'm not sure if it was necessarily scripted or not, who knows? But I think anybody that has ever had enough of the fake news, I don't care if you are the guy that goes to church every single day, 6 times a day, 7 days a week, 500 days a year, you will have your breaking point at times. And the Young Turks is an extremely easy way to lose your temper. Um, so, with that being said, I truly I hope everybody heals in their own way. That it was something that impacted everybody. So obviously there's healing. It's not something that's just going to go away overnight, and there's no magic word. Um, Jeffro, correct. Um, Night King, people. Hold on here, real quick. Night King says people always underestimate people based on education and letters. With Charlie, they found out the difference between education and intelligence. That's extremely true, and I'm going to tell you why. And I know a lot of you people know, because the majority of the people that come to the United Spot Lives are extremely smart, and it makes me feel kind of dumb. But there's a difference between, and I'm going to bring Matt Damon into it, from that movie he was in where he was a janitor. And gosh, what was the name of that? I know somebody's going to know what it is. It had Robin Williams, it had Matt Damon, it had Ben Affleck. And he had gotten to an altercation in a bar with a college guy who had spent apparently his father spent all this money on education. And he was just basically the copy and paste student, where he was just plagiarizing everything that he read out of a book. Now, there's a difference between learning something and just memorizing something. Learning something. Goodwill Hunting, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, Dan and Monkey Grab Orange. Thank you. Goodwill Hunting, great movie. One of which that Robin Williams played an amazing character. I miss that guy too. There's a difference between learning and memorizing. Learning means that you take something and it's a part of you, and you're able to dissect it in a way that you can explain it to somebody else and also build off of it. Memorizing something is what the majority of the people on the internet do. The copy and paste generation. They see something, they don't know what it means, they have no idea what the words mean, they have no idea what the abbreviations or the definitions, they have no clue. But they memorize the whole thing, and they'll say it over and over again, but they have no idea what they're saying. Charlie was not that man. Charlie was not just a one-hit wonder. He was not just a one-trick pony. He was incredible. And I'm not saying that because he's gone. I'm saying that because it's the truth. If you listen to this man, you could come up there with a question about the ingredients of bubblegum, and he would be able to debate you. That's the difference between absorbing and understanding something that's a part of you and using your brain versus just memorizing something. Anybody can memorize a pack of gum's ingredients if you really try, but do you understand what all of those things mean? What happens if you put them together, or the effects of them in long terms? Charlie was able to do that. Insane. And it's just, what a gifted man that's gone. Why would you? He didn't promote hate. He didn't promote violence. He didn't promote anything that was out of the orthodox. He promoted common sense, and he promoted his opinion, which is perfectly fine. It's no different than me telling you, hey, I really like dipping my French fries in milkshakes. Some people would be absolutely applaud. What? Why would you dip a French fry in a milkshake? But you don't have to hurt me because I like doing that. Why would you hurt me for that? It's no different. He's not harming you. He's allowing you. He was allowing you to speak. He was allowing you to try and convince him of your opinion, of your thoughts. And they ended him for it. He gave them the option. He let them talk. He put the microphone down, and he allowed them to speak. And when they were done, he would give his side. And they took him. The little girl on the subway, a guy that was arrested 20 some odd times. 20 some odd times. And then to find out that these judges in these particular states, they don't even have any background in being a judge. No criminal defense, no education whatsoever. Just, hey, I'd like to be a judge. Is that cool? And they let this man out 20 some odd times. And for him to just do that, I mean, to bring a discussion into it, like, maybe they had a relationship. I mean, even that's horrible. But there was no context there. There was no reasoning. He just did it. He saw life and he took it. He took it and walked away. And the fact of the matter that the people that were there did nothing. Now, I'm not saying go beat the guy up or take the knife away from him or what, but at least comfort that little girl. She was terrified. The look on her face, any man, any woman that has a child, a daughter, that look on her face was pure fear. And she died alone, surrounded by people. She died alone because of the cowards on that train. They did nothing. I did a photo shortly after that happened, and it got a lot of attention. I changed the colors around on that particular photo. And it got a lot of attention. Gosh, it's just, a lot of people don't realize that, I mean, we all have our daily routines. We get up and, obviously especially when you get to a certain age, you're thankful to wake up. We have our routines, we do our breakfast, maybe we do a workout, whatnot. We get ready for work. We listen to some of our favorite music, maybe watch some TV before we get to work, or when we come home. We have a schedule, things that because life is short. We have things that make us happy. And for a lot of people, there are people online. Some people like Tucker Carlson, some people like Benny Johnson, some people like listening to Donald Trump Jr. on Rumble. Charlie Kirk was a huge influence to a lot of people, young people too, in college. I have family members that reach out to me, young family members too, that reach out to me. He was very, very well known. And it's really, really sad to see anybody that, if that happened to anybody, it wouldn't matter if you were just a regular person. It wouldn't matter. It'd be the same thing. I'd be horrified. And it's no different than that little girl that was on that train. Nobody knew her. She wasn't an influencer. She had no social media presence. But that is burned in your brain now for the rest of, until you, for as long as you can remember things. And to know that there are people out there that do this. Yukon Man said exactly what I've been saying for many, many years earlier. I worded it a little different. I make mental institutions great again, but I like his too. Make asylums great again. A lot of people don't really remember. I know there's some older generation in here. They remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Believe it or not, that movie had a lot of impact. The reality is that movie was so realistic and so well done. With Christopher Lloyd and Jack Nicholson, and I mean, the movie was brilliant. you felt like they were truly, truly. It's just very realistic. Um, Believe it or not, you can look it up too as well. That was pretty much one of the deciding factors in ending it all. And now, you know, they've got so many different things that are just walking around, just and they're calling them heroes. They're calling them heroes. I just, well, um, I'm gonna do a live tomorrow, and I'm gonna play some videos tonight. I had to get this off my chest, and I know it probably bored a lot of people, and they're like, "Hey, you're just talking like the rest of everybody." But I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to come in here and kind of talk to you guys and let you know that I truly appreciate you guys a lot. You guys mean a lot to me, and it's definitely been. It's definitely been difficult now that I'm working again. I can't do what I used to do for the United Spot. For those of you who don't know, I recently took a job because it was YouTube. I just couldn't keep funding the United Spot. I'm still having a hard time, but I'm trying to make it work as best as I possibly can. But it got to the point where we were literally going to go homeless over the United Spot. So my wife asked me to make a choice. She said, "Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? Because that is going to put us in a cardboard box." So I decided to take a job. Unfortunately for the United Spot usually requires probably around 14 to 15 hours a day of work. Unfortunately, I can't even do half of that anymore. And it's heartbreaking because it's something that I built from the ground up, something that I put my whole entire heart into, and I was rewarded with failure. But you guys are here, and that's honestly it means a lot. LR, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. I got back into the same industry that I was laid off of back in 2020. But the unfortunate part is I'm all the way at the bottom. I have no seniority, obviously, because it's a brand new company. So all the work, I think I put 17, 18 years in, and they let me go because I refused to put that thing in my arm. I refused to wear gloves. I refused to wear a mask. I refused to bow down to their. And it was definitely not something that my wife was extremely happy about, but I refused. And the straw that broke the camel's back is when I refused to take the thing in the old arm, and they let me go. And that's when I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this. The United Spot was already kind of cooking up, and I said, I'm just going to do this full time. And you know, but I miss being able to do the United Spot all day. I miss being able to do it and do the lives with you guys and to just. But life happens, and you gotta keep pushing. So if you guys are listening, if you haven't fallen asleep to my soap opera, please do me a huge favor and check out the United Spot YouTube channel. I've got over 4,000 videos. So um, all of them were handwritten by me. All of the scripts, all of the voices. I do everything from start to finish. All the edits. I mean, it's not like they're movie quality, but I do my best for a one-man show. I do over 300 and something different voices a year, and I keep getting new characters all the time. So I am going to try to do more lives like I've been doing. Like I said, it was quite the quite the transition to go from not working, a real job and to just being able to have the luxury of doing the United Spot to I don't have any time at all, and I have to find a way to work, to come home and do the United Spot, and to find a way to sleep. So um, I'm going to try to do the lives every night, and I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then play some videos, and hopefully that gets better over time. So either that, or I'm going to probably have to go get some testosterone replacement, and maybe I'll have more energy. So, but I seriously, truly, 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 truly appreciate all you guys. You have zero clue how much I truly appreciate you. I know you guys probably think I'm thankful, but you just have no idea unless you opened me up and saw how thankful I am. It means a lot. So I hope everybody's doing okay. I really do. And please, in the memory of Charlie, stick to what he believed in. You know, there's a quote from him. It's an actual video. You can look it up. Um, he even, he was comfortable with knowing that everybody dies. I don't think that he ever saw anything like that coming. Uh, nobody deserves to die like that. But he was a very, very God-loving man, and he understood. There's a difference between people who just kind of roam through life, and there's a difference between a person that just lives, and there's a person that understands life and accepts it for what it is and lives every day to the fullest. And that was Charlie. So, in his memory, I think people need to remember him and pray for his family and to continue his legacy in some way, shape, or form so that his life wasn't taken for, I don't know why I'm even saying that. That's horrible. Why his life was even taken. It's just, gosh. So Christopher Maynard, good night. Tom, good night. Jeffrey Smith, have a great night. John Castaneda, have a great night. Faith and Courage. Brian, have a great night. BSU, have a great night. PS, have a great night. Monkey Grab Orange, have a great night. LRD Bonaventura, have a great night. Shout out to the men and women in blue. Yukon Man, have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. Christopher Maynard, have a great night. Captain Spaulding, have a great night. Tom Led, have a great night. Jeffrey Smith, have a great night. And at Poison, have a great night. Tammy, I don't know if is Tammy here tonight? I hope she is. I hope she's okay. Marilyn, have a great night. Skippy, have a great night. Let me see here. Jeffro Bodine, have a great night. Monkey Grab Orange, have a great night. Bill McMonagle, great to see you here. I haven't seen you for a while. Great to see you here. Hope you're having a great night, Bill. Haven't seen Bill for a long time. Great to see you here. Tammy, there you are. Great. Tammy and John Castaneda are always saying hello over on X, Twitter, all the time. And I just appreciate all you guys. You guys are just awesome. And I know Yukon Man's out there, and even though he may not always make it into the comment section, he's definitely listening. And there's a lot of people that have supported the United Spot for so long, and it just it's awesome. Sheila, thank you so much, and have a great night. And at Poison, have a great night. LR, thank you so much for gifting 5 United Spot memberships. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. You got a yob. There was a joke. I'm going over here, but there was a joke. I guess I'll find it and say it tomorrow. I thought it was actually kind of funny. And it was just like uh, Yukon Man said a yob. It was, but it wasn't that. But it was a punchline similar to that. It was, yeah, no. He said, okay. So there was a man doing an interview, and um, he's all, where did you go to school? She's all, I went to Yale. But and she was so excited, and then she found out that he meant to say jail. So I'm sorry, I'm not good unless I'm doing the Nancy voice. Kyle, thank you so much, and have a great night. Uh, if I miss somebody, it kind of cuts me off. So I think that's about it. I think that's the best. Oh, Night King, have a great night. It's the best part about having like not too many people in the comment section, because I don't have to say goodnight to everybody, because sometimes I'll repeat names. And um, YouTube user, have a great night. As you get older, I think the one thing, especially for men, is number one. As you get older, you wake up in the morning, you check to make sure your zipper's up. That's when you know you're starting to get old, and then you start repeating stuff. And I have actually a partner that I do things with on a separate thing, and he's quite old, not too old, but he's got some things going. But he will repeat the same thing 4 times in a matter of 20 minutes. So hopefully, old getting older is fun, I guess. Relentless, have a great night. Skippy, have a great night. Um, Tammy Joe Webster, have a great night. Monkey Grab Orange, have a great night. Pure Blood, have a great night. And if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. Please know that I'm saying goodnight to everybody. Um, everybody have a great night. You're the best. And if anybody would like to donate to the United Spot to keep the videos going, that would be amazing too. It's appreciated. I do have a PayPal and a Cash App, so if anybody's out there and is able to, it would be much appreciated. And if you would like something in return, I can definitely do that. Maybe a personal video, anything, whatever you want. But all proceeds go to the United Spot to help the United Spot keep going. So tomorrow, this has been kind of a sad live, and I apologize for that. But tomorrow we're gonna make it a little bit happier and play some videos and have a little bit more of a better time. So, but we had to get through that. We had to get through that. We had to do that. And I'm just glad I was able to do it with all of you guys. And I love you all, and I appreciate you all, and I'm very, very thankful for all of you. So have a wonderful night, and hug your families, and pray. And hopefully it's going to get better for everybody. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody, and thanks again.